Which of Trump's policies are fascist? It doesn't necessarily have to be only his policies, his rhetoric can also be fascist. But I want to cite Umberto Eco's 14 common signs of fascism. I want to run through those for you first, and then I will show you different policies that indicate that. Number 1, the cult of tradition. Things like Make America Great Again, an overly idealistic version of the past that is not properly contextualized. Number 2, the rejection of modernism. This is Trump going after things that he considers woke, such as inclusion, such as equity, such as diversity. Other things too, such as the LGBTQI community, as that is considered modern and not traditional in America. Number 3, the cult of action for action's sake. This is things like repealing his own trade deals as soon as he came back into office. His rallies, his attempts to go after people with lawfare. Other things too, such as signing executive orders that he has no power to do in order to appear strong and like he's doing something when he isn't. Number 4, disagreement is treason. This is usually some sort of big lie that people have to agree to in order to be let into Trump's circle. Right now, I personally believe it's the 2020 election, despite the fact that facts have shown over and over again, and Trump himself has admitted that there was no voter fraud that caused him to lose the 2020 election. He still publicly claims that he won or refuses to admit that he lost. And we saw this over and over again with his cabinet appointees. They could not admit that he had lost the 2020 election. They simply said the results of the election, or they tried to circumvent the question itself. Number 5, fear of difference. Trump has often used this with immigrants, claiming that immigrants are ruining this country, also claiming that Muslims are doing the same thing, and this includes policies such as family separation at the border as well as Muslim travel bans. 6, appeal to social frustration. Trump has done this extensively. He's gone after people in flyover states. He has appealed to people who have felt disenfranchised after losing their jobs or their pensions from things such as the 2008 financial crisis. He's also gone after people who feel in a way that white people are being left behind. He has a great deal of white supremacist supporters who feel like the future of white people is at risk of being replaced, which is known as replacement theory. 7, the obsession with the plot. Trump likes to claim that he's a martyr being persecuted. He likes to claim that there is a witch hunt against him and that everyone is out to get him personally. This can be any type of indictment against him for his indiscretions, either financially or personally, with his sexual assault cases and allegations. And in general, you'll find that even people that Trump has appointed himself, when they turn against him because he's doing things that he's not supposed to do, he will claim that it is a secret plot against him and that person is now compromised. 8, the enemy is both strong and weak. Trump does this all the time with immigrants, claiming that they are lazy and they are ruining America, while also at the same time they are taking away American jobs, claiming that there's some sort of woke mind virus that is making people weak, effeminate, and entitled, while also that same woke mob is somehow controlling all of our media and entertainment. Other things too, such as claiming that there is a secret radical left shadow government that is ruling over the country and he is trying to expose that corruption, waste, and fraud, while also at the same time claiming that he is much stronger than these people and they are a minority that do not represent the American people at all. 9, pacifism is trafficking with the enemy. Essentially what this means is that if you have a ruler who cannot govern peacefully or they are constantly fighting other people, that's a sign of fascism. You see this with Trump, where he goes after everyone who criticizes him, where everyone becomes an enemy, where everything is adversity or some sort of transactional agreement. He's done this by raising tensions with countries like Iran. He's also done this by dismantling a great deal of goodwill that was built between the US and several of our foreign allies like the EU right now, and it's just a constant struggle that never stops. He is always fighting against someone and he can never be at peace. 10, contempt for the weak. Trump has made multiple comments against people with disabilities in the past. He has often remarked on the optics of things as opposed to the substance of them, and he has made several moves in order to further disenfranchise people who need help in Medicaid, Medicare, as well as in the Veterans Affairs Office. 11, everybody is educated to become a hero. In this context, it largely means that this creates an environment where everything is a struggle and everything must be transactional or fought for. This relates to Trump and how he emboldens certain white supremacist groups, and this can be seen in certain policies of his where he does not value education or expertise as opposed to optics and displays of strength, which tie into number 12, machismo and weaponry. Trump has attacked women multiple times, especially those in authority, usually by attempting to attack their credentials or just by simply calling them ugly. 13, selective populism. This is an idea that you portray yourself as the interpreter of the will of the people, and you turn your base into this concept of the people, so it acts like whatever your base believes in is what all of your country believes in. And in this case, it's Trump claiming that the MAGA crowd represents all of America, or the majority of America, when in reality it's a small niche population. Trump uses selective populism often to convince his base that their beliefs are normal, when in reality MAGA beliefs are quite niche and insular in nature, and also to just in general portray himself as being relatable when he isn't. He inherited hundreds of millions of dollars from his father. He is a billionaire. He has had a very interesting life, but he is not a relatable working class American. And he does this so that when his policies benefit the wealthy and ruling class more than average everyday Americans, he can claim that it's justified by using selective populism. 14. Newspeak. Newspeak is usually done in order to prevent people with coming up with independent thoughts by limiting their vocabulary. And Trump has already done this. He has passed multiple executive orders which limit people's ability to speak on things in the executive branch, using terms as benign as pregnant people, or even just simply the word transition. These are all signs that Trump is a fascist. I believe that he is a fascist, especially after January 6th, and this could also apply to other politicians as well. But it is heavily clear that Trump does not respect the rule of law, he does not respect republics or democracies, and he is attempting to become an autocrat, which is something that we need to pay attention to.